sure we give you your kudos for doing so. And now, everybody, please, once again, send out those last minute texts to your prospects and teammates to make
Before we
sure that they are
use
ready to transition to part two of Good Morning Experts. And this is where you make sure everybody's got a good pen and pad in hand because we are definitely going to be hearing from a phenomenal individual who is going to be sharing some good notes to help you grow your business. All right, let's do it. Five, four, three, two, one. And welcome again to Good Morning Experts. I'm Troy Gandy, your index voice of inspiration, and having announced the best in multiple arenas including the corporate world, I feel the extreme pleasure to present to you all and introduce to others this young man who has assisted prominent athletes and upcoming superstars who have spent their whole life pushing boundaries and breaking records with the game changing challenges of navigating through a new world of contracts, taxes, and six-figure deals. This amazing CEO is the founder of Off the Field Financial Service, constantly bringing people to the table who actually wrote the financial playbook. For this reason, this double master's degree holder, international business builder is none other than coming to the table. I give to you, man, what we call the man who is a product of the creator of our special four-step system. We're talking about Coach Robinson.
Oh my goodness. Thank you
Let's
so much,
go,
Troy, for
coach.
that great introduction. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's awesome. So I get to do the training today, y'all. So I'm excited about this. I always love talking to y'all and just get to fellowship, you know. But y'all was hitting on a lot of key points that I was just thinking in my head today. Just how you gotta, it's a journey, right? It's not just an overnight success. And that's what I wanted to talk to y'all today about is redefining your success. So success is going to be solely based off your communication. That's number one, right? Not just communication to others, but communication within yourself. And a lot of times for us, for other people, we often lower the bar because sometimes we're afraid of success. We're afraid to achieve something greater than ourselves, right? So when you define your success by internal images, it kind of, and you fall short, it kind of puts you in that fail zone, right? Let's say you wanted to make 20 calls, or let's say you wanted to make 20 calls, right? And you make 20 calls and it didn't go how you wanted it to go. Don't don't look at it as, okay, yeah, I called 20 people, it didn't go well. Look at it as, what did I learn from this process? What did I learn from calling 20 people? Don't be afraid of the goal, but fall in love with the process and what you learn from everything. And that's really what I had to make the transition from being an athlete as well. I always like to revert back to sports, right? Yeah, at the beginning, I used to go out of practice and try to throw the ball 25 yards, 50 yards, right? And I would get disappointed in myself when I couldn't make the throws or I couldn't do it, right? But that's what happened. I learned over time. I learned that the small things translate to the big things. And then over time, like Nathaniel said, it's really compounding effect. You're going to see, you look up throughout the journey, you look up and you get better through each call and each process that you do, each communication that you have to the outside world, but not even to the outside world, to yourself, right? We got to communicate. We got to build our mental process up. We got to talk positive within ourselves. We got to do X, Y, and Z to make on the inside to make sure everything flows and better on the outside. That's really what I learned from this business is it's all mental. It's all mental, how you talk to yourself, how you communicate yourself, and it shows to the outside world, and it really shows to other about your communication to them. And once you really empower the communication to yourself, you can empower communication to others. And then they're going to start following you. They're going to start being in your business. They're going to start wanting to do business with you, right? Because everybody on this call is a money magnet. Money attracts them, success attracts them, success just comes to you, right? Sometimes we could be in the store and just looking to go shopping, right? You run into somebody, and then the success starts to find you. Yeah, we may have to make the opening word, acknowledge something first, right? But after you make that acknowledgement, it flows and it flows and it flows. And the more you get better, mind you, in this business, we don't have to say too much to them, right? The goal is getting them to an appointment, right? But letting things flow and letting things come natural to you, it starts within yourself. It starts with positive energy. It starts with reinforcement and the communication to within yourself. The next one I want to talk to you about is use your journey as data, right? It says a lost deal on this pitch doesn't mean you lost anything. It's not all in or nothing. You learn from your problems. You learn from your mistakes. You learn from how you can close the deal better. Sometimes I kick myself in the butt sometimes when I try to recruit somebody or I try to make a sale, or I don't look at it as selling if I share the information to the person and I didn't share it the best way for them to say yes right away. That's when I said, okay, well, how can I break down this information to help this client understand the value that I'm bringing to them, right? Because everybody on this call has tons of value to bring to people. And sometimes we just don't convey it in the proper way or the correct way to let the person see true value within itself. So it's not about you trying to close the deal, but it's about what you can bring to your client, right? And what you can bring to your client is valuable information about all this financial services that we have to offer. So it's really about reframing your mind and reframing your communication. Right. The next goal I wanted to say is adjust the goal, not the potential. Sometimes on this journey, right, it's a journey. So not everything's gonna be high, not everything's gonna be low. Because it's ups and downs. So you gotta ride with the wave, but you gotta adjust your goal due to everything that you have going on, right? Let's say your first and adjust weekly. Don't adjust just a year, 2 years, 3 years, because that's kind of how you can fall behind, right? You got to be making adjustments weekly. Just within football, right? Every week is a different opponent. Every week we're trying to figure out what we can do better, what we can maneuver, what we can tweak, right? And it's not always the major tweaks. It's something small, and something small is going to turn into something big over time, right? And that's why if within this business, right, let's say Miss Antoinette said, hey, I want to reach out to 20 people a day, right? No matter what the outcome is, right? You're just hitting your task. Celebrate the small wins, right? And that's what we have to look at. And that's the communication within ourselves. We got to celebrate ourselves. We got to celebrate our small wins. Celebrate the fact that we're doing the task. But the task, just because you do the task, doesn't mean you're going to reach the goal, right? So you got to be consistent. You got to sometimes, well, not sometimes, you have to fall in love with the goal, right? You have to fall in love with the process, but sometimes the goal may change. Sometimes you can reach out to 20 people one week, you can reach out to 40 people the next week, you can reach out to 6 people the next week, right? But you have to be consistent in doing the task, and the goal, and you achieving the goal will show up. The next thing I want to talk to you about is measuring your growth, not your quota, right? And kind of, like we said, keeping track of everything. So sometimes we redefine success as what we done throughout the whole week. Don't define yourselves of what you've done throughout the whole week. Define your success as, did I get better this week, right? Did I reach my highest potential? Did I learn what I needed to learn? Did I process what I needed to process, right? And that's how you measure your growth, and that if I reached my goal or not. How did I become as a person? How did I become somebody that's better in this field? Did I help this family achieve what they truly wanted, or did I miss some steps, right? Let's say I was so focused on trying to sell an IUL, maybe this person needed annuity, right? That's personal growth within yourself. That's personal growth with you becoming a better agent for this company and for your business. So how do you grow? You grow by what Uncle Josh say, master faster. That's how you grow. You
Mhm.
master faster and you learn the process. You fall in love with the process. So that's what I really want to talk to you all about, is just the journey of everything that we're doing here, right? We have an amazing village, we have an amazing team, but it all starts within ourselves, right? And the mental that we put on ourselves, the communication that we speak to ourselves every single day. It's kind of short training today, so I wanted to kind of make it a conversational thing today. I think we have an amazing village of leaders, and I actually want to open the floor and kind of be transparent today and figure out what problems or what advice can we share to others based on our journey that we all learn. Okay, cool. I see Dr. Mark Pinkney, the financial prophet, PROFIT. I love to hear what you have to say.
I saw Dr. T come up first. So ladies first. Dr. T, go ahead. I'll come up after her.
T.
Come up first. I'll let ladies go first. Go ahead, Dr. T.
That is so sweet. Thank you, Doc. Zay, you just I was up late yesterday, you all. I was writing 2 applications for this family. The mother sent the intake form to the daughter to fill out. She was confused. She didn't know if she was filling it out for herself or she was filling it out for her mother. So she put her own birthday, no, the mother's birthday, but everything else was her information. And I went ahead, I did the application. At first, for the 2 kids, at first I did it. She said they were not citizens, but the mother said they were. Trying to go back, because when you get to the signatures, you cannot go back because the information with FNG, the first form you do is where you input all that personal information. So I couldn't go back. They said, do it over. And then I do it over. And last night she couldn't, because it was her daughter's information that was in there. She tried to put in her 4 socials to access the applications to review and sign. It wasn't letting her at all. And after a training yesterday at about 10, almost 11 o'clock, I called her and we were on Zoom. We were trying all of this, and then I realized the reason I'm sharing this, I did not. I tell you all, it's a journey. We continue to learn. I did not do my due diligence to confirm the information with the mother before going ahead to do all this work. You all, the information, as the mother, the owner, the payer, and the beneficiary is the daughter's, not hers. So she couldn't get in and sign the applications. So I share this to let you all know it's a journey. We have to learn. We have to do our due diligence with our clients, even when we have the applications to write. Let's make sure we verify, we check that. And so you just told me today, continue to learn, continue to improve, and to celebrate those wins. Even though I felt like I failed yesterday, I did. I beat myself up so bad because I have to do those applications again, if not, but she sent me this morning her driver's license. So I will be checking with FNG if they could go in the back there and edit that. If not, I may have to do those applications over again. So this morning call, I'm telling you, it really seasons us. It makes us do a better job with what we do as we continue to learn and grow in this business. Thank you.
And I also just wanted to say something, Dr. T. You said something that you failed, right? You didn't, and that's what the mindset and the shift that we have to do, right? We don't fail in this industry, right? We just learn from our mistakes. And I had to do that a couple of times within myself too, right? I had to rewrite policies. I had to track people down just because I made the wrong mistake within the policy, right? And that's the part of their journey, right? I know we're not the only ones that does this. This happens, right? We're learning along the way. But the fact is, right, that you had somebody, that client that you was talking to, you had somebody, the fact that we are in the field and we are learning from our mistakes, right? So everything's a learning lesson. I just want to say thank you so much, Dr. T, for sharing your thoughts, and thank you for teaching us that learning lesson, right? We got to make sure that we cross our eyes and then cross our T's and dots our I's on all the applications and everything that we do. Because if not, it's going to be a lot harder and a longer process to helping that family out. And sometimes they may fall out the car on us, right? So that's a learning lesson within itself, right? And I was a product of that. Sometimes I didn't follow up as fast as I could with that client, and that's something I had to learn throughout my process.
Thank you. Thank you.
I see Dr. Mark.
All right, thanks, Coach Zay. Man, I really appreciate you, man. You're an inspiration to this generation. Man, I want to ask you a question. What was your mindset being in your generation that got you attracted to this business, to have the kind of personal success? I know that, man, being an athlete and just, man, inspired by what you're doing in our younger generation. So what is it that sparked you? Because we got a young person on our team, and I can give him a piece of advice, and his name is Zay also.
Okay, cool.
So thank you.
So what sparked me from actually joining this business was the true ownership of my life, right? As an athlete, you really don't have control over what you want to do. Well, you have control of what you want to do, but you don't have control over where you want to go, right? I went to Maine, then I went to Virginia, then I went to Georgia. All not really by choice. It's just the opportunity that presented itself. So what I love about this business is I've always been a hard worker. I always went to like to go do things on my own to see my true value of success, right? And I didn't want to have that overtop person controlling my life. And that's still why I didn't want to coach in college to this day. I had job opportunities to go in college and coach at a higher level, but I really wanted to focus within on what I have to do and focusing on my business, because if not, somebody's always going to be controlling our lives if we don't take control over our lives. So that's what I had to realize, and that's what I had to understand and come to, what's the word? And come to agreement with within myself is, if I don't do it for me, I'm gonna do it for somebody else, right? And that's been the biggest thing in my life. And what I try to preach to the younger generation is sometimes they don't know, right? And they don't know what they don't know. So you really have to be that person to say, hey, it's not good over here, right? It's not no good stuff. You got to go down the right path, and that's why I do feel like the younger generation do look up to y'all, and do look up to everybody on this call, is because you all been in their shoes before, right? And they are just looking for the proper guidance and just make sure that they're in the right place, because it's a crazy road, as we know, right? It's a wild road, but it's a great road, right? And once you really get your groove and really once you get things going, you fall in love with everything that comes with the road that you're on.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Coach. Appreciate it.
No problem. Cool. I see. Oh, Miss Monique picked me. Oh yeah, she.
Thank you so much, Coach Zay. This was awesome. And you do, every time I see you, I think of my son. So it's so encouraging to see what you're doing and your success and how passionate you are, but you're actually doing it. So thank you for that. But I wrote down number 3. I want to make sure I got it right. But you said adjust the goal, not the potential. And was that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
I like that because I thought about something that Dr. T said. We make a goal like, okay, I'm gonna call 10 people this week, I'm gonna call 20 people. And if you miss that goal, you don't sit back and reflect on, I called 15. That was that's good, And then, like you said, adjust. Okay, well, if I didn't make the 20 added to next week, you can always adjust. But we are so hard on ourselves. But I noticed that if you are consistent, like you said, you will see the goal show up. So, even like, okay, well, I want to reach the goal of adding 5 partners. I added 3. That's good. we tend to try to focus on, well, I didn't meet my goal. And so it really helps to hear, and then repetition earlier, just start repeating the good stuff to yourself. So I thank you for what you said and what you shared this morning, because it is a thing of talking to yourself and encouraging yourself with what you did do and getting better. So that's what I got out of what you said. And so thank you so much for that.
No problem. Thank you. I can't see who else is here, but I do see two more people. Oh, Miss Tiffany Tyler. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's Tiffany Tyler.
All right. Good morning, Zay. That was wonderful. And Miss Monique touched on some things that I did want to say. You know, said adjust the goal, not your potential, which that is real good. But I also want to state, yesterday I was strolling on Facebook, and if he's on this call, I'm sure he's on the call. Coach Erik is on the call. He made a post on his Facebook yesterday, and it stated, sometimes you just got to take a seat and be a granddad. And that right there was a beautiful advertisement, secured. He has secured his family all the way down to his grandchildren. If I was on his team or if I followed him, I know he has secured his family just from that picture of what I know his career is. And Coach Erik, you really need to make that a flyer, because it stands out. And for the people that follows us, or follows you, that's going to take us to the next level, just that picture, because that picture is setting the goal and overpowering the potential. So Zay, you are definitely on point with what you told us this morning. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. That's Tiffany Tyler. And Mr. Robinson, you heard it here first. You know, you got your new flyer right there. So that's impactful and amazing. Thank you for that. Oh my goodness, we got one of my favorite people coming up to the stage, Miss Grio Leo, also a fellow Leo with her, Miss Grio Leo, Miss Tawana Chisley.
All right, my adopted son, you dropped some nuggets this morning. You dropped some nuggets this morning, and I wish Miguel was on this morning, because I really wanted to introduce him to you. I wanted him to see you in action, because he's 19, he's staying in the car and he's studying, and he needs to see that the youth can actually do this. You are the epitome of what someone in their 20s, and you started a few years ago, can actually do with this business. So you know how super proud I am of you. And that honestly, that day when you stood up, when Kamal called you young Erik, you said, I am not Erik, I am Isaiah. I said, that's a Leo.
Yeah.
Let's get this right. I am Isaiah. I love my dad, but I'm Isaiah. And from that moment, I said, oh, he's special. He's special. And you did the one thing you said about redefining your success, and you have to communicate to yourself first. That's just off topic, so to speak. That's something that I wrote in my books. How can you love me if you can't love yourself first? And that's what it's about. Find who you are. And the minute you find who you are, Grio Leo, everything will start to fall into place. And like I said, I'm super proud. Y'all know I adopted him. I don't have any sons, but you the man right there. You the man. So
thank you.
Thank you, Zay.
Oh, thank y'all. And this call, y'all get me up and get me motivated, and just I learned everything from this call. So I want to thank everybody that's on this call that shares information, that we learn from each other every day. And this village is truly something special, and we have leaders all around this village. So it starts with us, and
hey, Zay,
that's something special to do, y'all. So good job.
Hey Zay, real quick before we transition, first thing I want to say is, man, it's so cool just watching you develop. And what I want to ask you was, well, first, let me pick up on what Tawana said. Tawana was like, basically, you got to love yourself, and Chuck Brown made a song that he had a part to it that said, once you learn to love yourself, you can love everybody else. You know what I mean? But what I want to ask you, Zay, was what's the most destructive money mindset or behavioral hurdle you've seen in your community with your peers? And what is the single best action that you can give, or kind of the advice you can give to overcome it?
The biggest thing I learned is not being a steward over your money, right? And I go through this as well too. It's not so much as keeping up with the Joneses, but so much as you feel like sometimes as younger, you feel like the money's always going to come. And this is what I have to teach my athletes as well. Some kids in high school making $3 million, right? Just doing anything with their money. And the more money that you make doesn't mean that's going to be the more money that you keep, right? Woo! And that's what I learned through my process and learned through my journey. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Yes. And sometimes with the young people, all we do is spend, 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 and we look up. It's like, man, I just spent $1,000 this week. I just did this, I did this. And it feels like you don't have any money, right? As young people, it feels like we don't have any money. It feels like we're going through certain things, but you have the money. And that's what I learned. It doesn't matter what age you are at, you have the money. Are you being a steward over your money? And when you look up and you look maybe throughout the years, or look up, let's say you look up 5 years and you realize, man, I went through all of this money and I don't even know what I spent it on. And that's the biggest thing is we're not spending no money on our assets. We're just spending money on liabilities. We're spending our money that's going to depreciate our growth. And that's what they got to look long term. That's what I want to say.
Well, that boy good. That boy
you preaching
good.
this morning. You preaching.
Right?
He don't miss. He don't miss. Even under pressure, he don't miss.
Business church.
Woo! Thank you for that, Zay. I appreciate that, man, because I know y'all have. It's a funny thing. It's some of us on here that are the elders right now, right? But I remember when we was your age and our parents was looking at us like we was crazy because we didn't want to do what they wanted us to do. You know what I mean? And so it's just cool seeing you posture with the confidence you have and knowing that what you're saying, if you talk to somebody, it doesn't matter what age level it is, you know that Coach Zay knows what he's talking about. So thank you for blessing the call this morning. And I don't know who I'm giving it back to, but whoever I'm giving it back to.
Can you see
okay.
Candyman?
Yeah. Candyman can.
Candyman can.
All right, blessings, grand rising. Yes, Isaiah, this is my first time seeing you in a few, but once again, blessed be on what the nuggets that you dropped today. And you keyed on some things that I've done with myself or my business, that you don't flourish for your wants and then beg for your needs. And once again, the thing about it is that, what you were talking about, as I'm going to refer to my notes, money is a byproduct, helping people is key. And once again, we all have the same common denominator that we want to help individuals achieve goals that they have for themselves. And my key acronym for goals is go on and live successful. And that's what it is with me. And the things that, we talk about every morning, I know I'm doing, you may hear trucks in the background, but I do escorts in the morning all over the ports in Virginia. But I try to key in, and when I keyed in today, I'm just glad to see your face in the place. All right. Grand rising, keep on striving. All right. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
As I have one more thing to say before we move on. I adore you. You just dropping some nuggets here. Being a steward of your money. my goal is to make sure that the youth understand that generational wealth. So I have done policies for some of the young ones. And I tell them, oh, they get excited when they see numbers. Like, I know that you're moving. You're not always going to be living home with mom. So we're going to start small. But you need to understand, always say understand, however you want to say, that this is your life now. That this policy that you're paying on is your life. Don't screw it up. So I have one that is screwing up. Oh, well, I got to get my car. I've been putting all this money into my car. And I said, okay, that's part of life. But that policy still needs to be paid on, whether you got problems with your car or not. That car going to be gone one day. What's going to happen if you lose this money that you've been putting into it? So I just, you're dropping some stuff today. I have those lectures with them.
Feeling better now? You
before
feeling better?
they,
I got you, man. Hey, we'll get you in. We'll get you.
I have put these, I have these lectures with them before I actually do these policies. This is your life, and you need to pay on it first before you do anything else. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. He's saying some special things. You're right. You're right. Everything that you're saying is right. So I appreciate you. I said I learn every day from y'all. So I'm excited. I'm excited. And I'm glad to be in this village with y'all. I'm pass the ball to Mr. Troy, the voice of inspiration. No, the index voice of inspiration, Mr. Troy Gandy.
Woo! Don't pass it too fast. Don't pass it too fast. Man, you lit the place up. Took us to business church this morning. I'm tell you. Well, folks, let us say once again, you just got served by the newest inductee into the circle of the best in the business. One of the best in the business. And that being said, that is Coach Isaiah, and we got to give you double kudos and double Mr. Double Master's degree holder. We're going to give you double kudos for just also being the one to introduce the first upcoming NIL Summit. Name, image, and likeness event coming up on October the 5th. So we got our eyes on you, man, and we staying tuned in. Thank you for what you brought to the table today. Yes. And with that being said, now let us go to our next segment of the day, which is called our 𝗍anie inspired recap relay. And this is where we get to reflect in 1 minute or less, folks. 1 minute or less. Your best takeaway from today's master class. All right. And then we'll pass the baton on to our next business runner. So who is
we've been
ready
recapping all this whole time. I think we've been recapping already.
You know, I'm like, you pretty much got it in for sure. All right. Well, if there are no other hands up, let me say, Miss Rita is still on travel, so she's not going to give it to you like that. So we're going to just say, hey, you got your marching orders. You fine-tune some things. You hit the little tuner and let it ring in your ears and in your system. So now it's the only thing to do is answer the question. What's next?
Drill it till you kill it.
Drill it till you kill it. That's it, folks. I'm Troy Gandy, your index voice of inspiration, signing off from Good Morning Experts. And I'll pass it back to, I see a couple folks on the line. It's got to be between one of the two, but I believe Uncle Jock is actually in the seat today. Is he going to come up out of that? Is he going to lean forward, lean in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Troy. Thank you, Tawana. Thank you, Coach Zay. Man, everybody come off of mute. Give everybody a nice round of applause. That was some nuggets this morning, man.
Good work.
And thank you.
Good job.
Theo's rule.
And thank you, everybody, for participating and really just doing what a village is supposed to do. Just lock arms and everybody making sure that nobody gets left behind. So with that being said, we won't see y'all until Monday, as far as the show is concerned. But don't forget, we got our 4-step system, special 4-step system training on Saturday. So
9 a.m.
plug in, and level up. Get your level up tickets. Spread the word as you grow. Guess what? As you grow, make sure that you're talking to your new recruits, your new business partners, and making sure that they get involved in this process as well. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen.
In, out. Who gets the green sheet? Hey.
And don't forget our YouTube.
DJ Sing It By Yourself is in the building,
Get the
ladies
green
and gentlemen.
sheet. Hey.
DJ Sing Your Own Song is in the building. What is he getting paid for? We don't know, but hey.
Hey.
Get your green sheet. Everybody get your green sheet. Get your green sheet. Everybody get your green sheet. Get your green sheet. Everybody get your green sheet. Get your green sheet. Everybody get your green sheet.
Yeah. Everybody's Coach Erik Robinson, 𝗯𝗿𝗲, and Uncle John. That's Uncle 𝗱𝗍. Don't miss it. Yeah. Peace be with you.
DJ Thumb Drive is in the building.